all the questions. Yeah, yeah. This is the first question. This comfort food originated because a certain Earl was so fond of his card games that he refused to even waste time eating in between them. Gradually, his friends too began asking for the same as X, which convenient food, comfort food just gets its name. Iman, be patient, please. I am sure now people can hear. People, can you hear me? Because the last comment by Iman says he can't hear me. Cool. Question number two, is this the most plausible explanation for the strange origin of what a genre of art is called? Is that is a common practice in ancient Greece to sacrifice a goat to the gods after drama competitions, leading to the death cries, giving the name to this genre. So give me the good one. So I want the name of this genre of art or literature that gets is or its strange origin to this. Moving on, question number three. Even though the actual event did not occur till a month after the date is commonly celebrated on, the second president, John Adams, was convinced that this should be the date when a national holiday should be celebrated. So convinced was he that he wrote, it ought to be solemnized with pomp and parade, with shoes, games, sports, guns, bells, bonfires, and illuminations from one end of this continent to the other from this time forward forevermore. What am I talking about? Moving on, X, Aramaic, Azeri, Divehi, Fula, Hebrew, Kurdish, Mende, Nako, Persian, Rohingya, and Syriac. And then finally Y. This is probably an exhaustive list of something for current times in alphabetical order, though historically there were more members to the list. I have left out the two most obvious members of the list. Give me X, Y, and what is this a list of? Moving on, this is question number 5. So, this iconic scene was never a part of the script. In fact, while delivering a racist rant as a part of the scene, the actor slams down on a table and accidentally cut his hand on the glass. Even though the director wanted to stop shooting for getting medical attention, The actor continued to deliver his lines, thereby enhancing the impact of the scene and receiving a standing ovation from the whole cast and crew as well. So, put Funda. So, I want which actor, what scene basically. Moving on, the visitor's entrance to the Ministry of Magic in Harry Potter is a red telephone booth with the entry code being 62442. Why was this particular code chosen? As in, why was 62442 chosen? Moving on, all the episodes in this series feature a color in the name, with the first 5 seasons exclusively featuring only red, building up to a major plot point. Xander Berkeley, the actor who plays the main antagonist, was chosen because he was born as the notorious serial killer Keith Hunter Jesperson, aka the Happy Face Killer, who inspired his character. Which popular show am I talking about? It's a very, very popular show, and also see the bold things that will give you enough hints. Moving on, question number 8. The old French word for heating gave rise to two common yet very unrelated words. Oh, it should be born as on the same day as the notorious serial killer. So yeah, the old French word for heating gave rise to two common yet very unrelated words. The first word initially refer X ref, the first word X initially referred to people paid to keep steam engines running by maintaining the heat. Later, with the rise of automobiles, the French elite began to call certain people as X, perhaps because it was a part of their duty to keep the automobiles ready for departure, which is how it came to get its current meaning. The second word, Y, is something we all have experienced in our daily lives at some point or the other, characterized quite aptly by the burning feeling caused due to friction. So give me X and Y. Moving on. In the winter of 1941, Karine, the daughter of the author, had come down with an illness and was confined to her sickbed. Inspired by Karine's request to tell her stories about XY, a name Karine had created on the spot, the author improvised stories about an anything but pious, red haired, freckled, unconventional, and superhumanly strong girl with boundless energy. The original Swedish versions gave her full name to be Pipilota Vic- Victualia Relgardina Krusminta Ephraim's daughter Langstrom, which was changed to XY in the English versions, with the Y being a direct translation of Langstrom. Which series of children's book am I talking about here? So, which of children books is this? Moving on. Question number 10. All these books or stories have something in common regarding the way how they came to be. What and which is the most famous one in this list that I have omitted? Before I go on to question number 11, 12, 13 have a certain connect to it. It's not an exhaustive connect, it's an inexhaustive connect. So there's a connect to the last three questions, 11, 12, and 13. Please note that down. Question number 11, 12, 13 have a certain inexhaustive connect to it. So I want the connect. So 11th is this. Even though gruesome events have taken place here, the true origin of the English name X is the ambiguity of the word Krasnij that may mean either beautiful or X. Originally named Krasnaja Ploshchad, when this was laid out, it was considered to be the most beautiful one of Moscow rather than a X1. So what am I talking about? Moving on, question number 12 and the second last question. Claiming to have survived more than 600 assassination attempts, most iconic photos of this leader show him smoking a cigar. However, he quit the habit in 1985, saying, "The best thing you can do with this box of cigars is give them to your enemy." He also holds the world record for the longest time speech at the United Nations, clocking 4 hours and 29 minutes on 26th of September 1960. Which charismatic leader am I talking about? Moving on to the last question. According to sources, the famous bridge shot was done at 5 in the morning. The production had to bring their own bench because there were no park benches at the location. The bridge had two sets of necklace lights on a timer controlled by the city. When the sun came up, the bridge lights went off. Cinematographer Gordon Willis made arrangements with the city to leave the lights on and that he would let them know when they got the shot. Afterwards, they could be turned off. As they started to shoot the scene, one string of bridge lights went out, and the writer was forced to use that take. Which iconic movie, which must always be shown in letterbox format in any home video release or TV or cable broadcast, allegedly due to a clause in the studio's contract? So I'll quickly move on to like run the questions once so that you can check your answers. This was question number 13. So letterbox format, movie, famous bridge shot. 12 was 600 assassination attempts, and always, iconic photo shown him smoking a cigar. So I want the leader. 11th is the origin of the English name X for the ambiguity of the word crass and niche. Question number 10 will like connect these all these books of how this is there's something common regarding the way how they came out to be. So which is the famous one in the list, and what is the method they came out? Question number 9 is like Karen's what series of books did Karen's father write? Question number 8 is the two French words which have two very different meanings but had the same etymology. Seventh is I want which popular show had Xander Berkeley play the antagonist, and they have featured colored names of colors as their seasons. Question number 6 is this: why the entry code was 62442? Why was the code 62442? Question number 5 is this icon which iconic scene where the actor actually cut his hand? Question number 4 was the two languages, and this was the list of what basically. Question number 3, which event did John Adams write to be? It ought to be solemnized with pomp and parade and what all. Question number 2, a certain genre of art which gets its name to the death cries of the goats. Question number 1, and finally, what comfort food was originated because this earl did not want to waste time eating while playing cards? So yeah, here we end the quiz. Thank you for attending the quiz, and again a very very happy birthday, Vrishabh. Just before we end, you can also send your sets. Someone else can proctor. If you want to conduct it on your own, then you can conduct it on your own. There are 13 questions, Rajushida. Please send in your questions if you want. Someone else can do it. If you want to do it, you can do it. Okay, bye bye, guys. I'm off now. I have to go and cook now. So, yeah, bye. Take care. Adios. Hasta la vista.